Hey, what's up, fam? So it's Black Hippie here, and just coming with you guys for the video today. Just kind of wanting to, I guess, like dispel some of the myths around boas. This is a great one right here. For example, if you just saw recently right now, Kiki here was just kind of like queued up in that S curl that you typically see in like let's say a ball python. Right, even she's doing it right now. Like, that is not in any way, shape, or form like she's gonna strike me. Like, and so I get like when you have, when you're coming from a ball python and you're used to that. Like when a ball python does that, it's very different from when a boa does it. Boas just do that kind of naturally. It's just they're just completely different species, and so you can't get afraid of that. And if you notice right now, I'm calm and she's calm, but she's doing that little right there. That does not mean in any way that she's aggressive or that she's gonna strike at me, because she's really not. Like, and if she ever did, I'd be shocked. But yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much the difference, and I just wanted to really share that. On the different platforms that I'm on, I've just talked to many different people about this. The typical people who are kind of getting their first snake, and they're debating like, okay, do I get a boa or do I go with the ball python? And that's a valid question. There's nothing wrong with asking that question. It reminds me of like, you have your Xbox people, and you have your Nintendo people, and you have your PlayStation people. My whole point is that I wouldn't say a ball python is better than a boa, or a boa is better than a ball python, because that's just not fair. But what I can say is what I personally like, and for me personally, I'm more of a boa person personally. So with that being said, a little tense. It's okay, buddy. So I don't know. With that being said, I just wanted to kind of show Kiki here. So this is my first boa that I ever had. She's about, I want to say about like 8 months. She's under a year old for sure. So she's around that 7-month, 8-month range. She's doing really well. So when I first got her, she was really tiny. She looked like a little earthworm, like a long earthworm. Now she's, looking really cool. And she's awesome. She's never, ever been... Okay, so, all right. So today, let's get back to the point. So today we're talking about dispelling some myths around boas. And so one of the things is that people say that boas are nippy. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that boas can't be nippy, but they can be. It's a weird answer to the question, I guess, because they're more individualistic than... It's like looking at okay. Staying on topic, ball pythons, I would say, are just as docile as boa imperators. They're about the same. The only difference, I would say, is that boas are a little bit more active, for the most part. It just really depends. I mean, there's so many factors. They're just not as shy. That's the best way of really describing it. I find boas to not be as shy as ball pythons. Ball pythons are just super shy creatures. They just are. And that's why they're known as ball pythons, because whenever they're afraid, they kind of go into a ball. Boas here aren't necessarily like that. I don't know. My boas, I don't know. They're not so afraid of being out, I guess, whatever. I also find boas to be just a little bit more intelligent. But anyways, it's neither here nor there. She's an awesome snake, for sure. If you're on the fence of getting like a boa versus like a ball python, and I don't know, I personally highly recommend boas. If you're fearing like getting bit, or if you're thinking that like, oh, a boa is more inclined to bite me than a ball python, that's not true at all. That's really not true. In fact, it's so not true. I have 3 boas and I have 1 ball python. My ball python, My ball python is the only one to ever try to strike at me. My boas, none of them have ever tried to do that. So that's my whole point. It's just that, like, you know, boas are just different. Me personally, I don't know. I love them. I think they're awesome. So I highly recommend them. I think they're great first pets because they reach a really good size. Not too big, but yet not too small. And so, you know, it's just impressive to the point you're showing a family member, you're showing a friend. You know, it's just really cool to see just how big they get, and you know, just how friendly they are. They're just super docile creatures, especially if you spend the time with them every day. I spend time with my boas, like all my snakes actually, every day, and I find it to be that, like, you know, it really calms them down, and you know, they're just used to being handled. And so, you know, all my snakes are just like super chill. Even my ball python, who I just recently was even the ball python who I was recently just describing was more defensive than all my other snakes. You know, he's really good too. There you go. So you can see just like how right now she just kind of just relaxed a little bit. Anyways, so yeah, this is Kiki here. And so we're gonna go ahead with the feeding, and yeah, see you guys on the other side. All right, cool. So you guys just saw Skittles just eat. She's eating every single time. She's a beast. And so, yeah. And so that does it, fam. Just want to give you guys an update on Kiki here, my Boa Imperator, or Boa Constrictor Imperator. And to show you just how she's doing. So she's doing really good. Anywho, you know, you guys just saw Skittles eat. And yeah, so that's about it, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. You know, if you're thinking about getting a boa, I say just like do your research. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're comparing the two, I definitely would go boa over ball python. That's just me personally. All day, every day, hands down. There's no knock on ball pythons. I think ball pythons are cool, but boas are just cooler. That's just the difference. Boas are just more badass. That's me personally. So that's honestly just a subjective view. Some people are gonna tell you that, oh, you know, I prefer, you know, ball pythons better or whatever. So it just really depends. But anyways, so if you watch my channel, you know we'd like to keep it positive here. So today's positive challenge of the day is more, I guess, directed towards snake owners. I guess like beginner snake owners who are having a tough time with not aggressiveness, but defensiveness. And so the positive challenge kind of goes to you guys today, and that is just to kind of stick with it. I've talked to many people on Facebook, on Reddit, and they've said things like, oh, you know, my snake is always biting me. How do I get over this? Or, you know, my snake is super defensive, XYZ. And so my whole point is just to stick with it. Like, don't give up on them. You know, these snakes are obviously individualistic. So it's hard to say that, like, oh, you know, your snake is gonna be just like my snake. Exactly. That's not true per se, but I would say just with constant handling, your snake can be this calm. Like, these are docile creatures. They just are. And as you can see, she's pretty big. Like, she's not like a tiny little snake, you know, and she's super docile. And so my whole point is just like, don't give up, you know, stick with them, you know, just like give them some love, you know, stick with it, don't give up. And just constant handling and being consistent with it. Like, I promise you, your snake will be calm, just like this, you know. All it takes is just constant handling and just dedication to that, right? So, you know, that's that, fam. Just wanted to share that with you guys. It's getting so long now, we can actually do this point. That's it, fam. Thanks again for watching. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, like, comment, please comment more than anything. Let me know what you want to see more of. Always down to film what you guys want to see or what snakes you want to see more of. And yeah, so that's that. Until next time, Black Hippie and Kiki out. Peace.